Hey, James,
Hey, Rick.
getting some miles in on your new bike?
No, I'm all gun shy. I have been riding again lately, but I've been doing my road bike.
Oh. What kind of trails do you have available for your Evo?
Well, the one I crashed on, which is called the Bonneville Shoreline Trail, and it's good. There's mountains all behind me, or there's a mountain and then kind of a mountain range over to the side, and it sort of runs all along there. The Bonneville, it's called the Bonneville Shoreline because that's what used to be the Great Salt Lake was the Bonneville Sea or whatever.
Okay.
And so this whole area used to be underwater, I guess. So they call it the Bonneville Shoreline Trail. And then there's some bike parks around. I've been to the bike park, but I'm a little chicken to get air. Do you do any jumps?
What's that?
Do you do any jumps?
Not real jumps, no. I do. I'm excited when I get both wheels off of the ground at the same time, but it's like inches.
Yeah. My cousin, he rides a lot too, and he wears a full armor vest. And
Well,
so
I think it depends a lot on what kind of riding you're doing. Like
right.
the stuff I do around here, most of it's not even single track, or if it is, it's wide paths. But there are some places around here where it's, you have this wide of a track and it's
Right.
V-shaped or something,
Right.
and where you have to keep a super straight line, and it doesn't even have to be hilly or bumpy for that to be a difficult kind of challenge, especially if it's really sloped and if you're worried about falling off on the downside.
Yeah, I guess the Bonneville Shoreline Trail is a bit rough. I mean, for sure it is. I mean, the section I crashed on for sure is super rough, downhill and very rocky.
Right, yeah. But I would say just find something more comfortable, even fire roads, that can be hilly and you can get a good workout still going on stuff like that and get used to the bicycle.
Yeah.
Don't feel like you have to be bombing it right out the gate.
Yeah, I get it.
There's a lot of trails I won't ride mine on. I've got 2,000 miles on my bike now.
Nice.
But I don't want to put myself in really precarious situations. And even as it is, I probably go faster on some things than I should because I know it would hurt a lot if I did crash, and I could. But for the most part, I feel in pretty good control. I don't like riding where I don't feel like I can stop in an instant if I want to, or hop off the bike if I wanted to.
It's been so crazy hot here too. Or triple digits, so I'd
I
have
get
to
that.
go out early in the morning or something. Do you use losing trick count a lot? Do you calculate it that way?
I do not play with losing trick count particularly. I know of it and I've read about it. I think it's a good tool to add in.
Like where you subtract it from 24?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a variety of things you can do with that. And there's some people use it for deciding whether to open. Other people say, oh, wait till you have a fit and only use it then. Things like that. But
Oh, can you hear me?
I can.
Great, thanks.
You there, Andrew?
We on bridge base or shark base today? Shark bridge.
It'll be a shark today.
Get that link.
Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Great.
Yes, we can.
Where are you?
I like your background, Rick.
Thanks.
I'm back in Livermore. I got back yesterday.
All right. Well, congratulations on a terrific finish there.
Well, thanks. I mean, would have liked to have won. That was a little disappointing to finish in second, but we did have a good ride. Yeah, I promised you a good story for that
That
tie
match?
game.
Uh-huh.
But let me send out a quick email just to make sure that anyone who had doubts that we were meeting today actually knows that we are.
All right. Here, I'll share something that's not bridge for a minute while you're doing that. This is from my dash cam from yesterday, driving home from picking up some dinner. See if you see what happens here.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
Goodness gracious.
You can see what happens here. Her car is waiting to exit out of the shopping center past this light pole.
yep.
And then all of a sudden, the car in the right-hand lane was not using its turn signal, but they were turning into there. And so she's like, oh, okay, I can pull out because they're turning in.
And just couldn't see you.
And you can see right there, she could still see me if she was looking, but she was looking at their car.
Oh.
Man.
You had the right reflexes to brake there, because that could have been bad.
That's what I was thinking. The car would have braked for me if I'd have waited any longer, I think, but I stomped on the brake and did an emergency stop, came to a full stop. The wheels did not skid, but man, she was right there and she looked at through her driver's side window and could not believe that there was a car there.
She was terrified.
Yeah. Anyhow, that was a surprise.
Oh, did your dinner survive? Didn't
Yep.
fall off the seat? Okay. That's
No,
good.
fortunately, it all stayed intact.
Yeah, it's the worst when you have like a soup or something with fluid.
Well, it's Chinese food, and we often get like wonton soup with that, but we did not this time, so it was all on more sturdy kind of stuff.
So I think the worst is when you actually get hit. So thankfully that didn't happen.
Oh, yes.
Well, yeah, and it's tomorrow. I'm dropping the car off for a couple of weeks of body work from when it did get hit back in May. My wife was stopped at a stoplight and was rear-ended. It's taken forever just to get the parts in for that.
So what tournament were you in, Andrew?
So I was playing in the NABC in Providence. Specifically,
That's the national tournament.
yeah. So they do these 3 times a year if you're not aware. And this one specifically, the summer one's probably the most popular of the 3. And they have some of the really most interesting events, in my opinion, including the Spin Gold, which is going on right now. You can actually watch that on BBO ViewGraph if you want. See some of the best teams in the world playing bridge through next Sunday. But I was playing as part of the Grand National teams, which is one of the big so-called grassroots events, which means you have to qualify at the club level first, then you qualify at the district level, and then finally you compete nationally. And this was the national level.
Did you have to travel there, or were you playing online?
We traveled. It's in person now.
Wow.
Yeah, this was the first year back in person since 2019. Yeah. Anyway, we qualified.
It's a real accomplishment to win the district level, to be able to go. They have
I didn't actually
four different.
I didn't actually win the district level though.
What's that?
I didn't actually win at the district level.
Yeah. So, but the districts, each district has divided up into 4 different strats. So there's like an open for the national world champion level. and then a flight A, below that a flight B and a flight C. So you can compete kind of at your level. And so Andrew was in the flight Bs here, right?
That's correct. Which is typically for people who are life masters, but haven't been life masters for too long. So if you have more than 2,000 master points, you're not eligible. But there's still some really good competition. I think we were playing against at least 2 players at various times who had represented previous other countries at international events. So there are some good teams. We advanced to the 16-team knockout tournament. Kind of close, but we got there. And as the 12th seeded team, we ended up beating the 5th seed, the 4th seed, and the 1 seed to go to the finals.
Wow.
And then
Hey, all right.
Was this 5 days altogether?
So Swiss was Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday knockout. So yeah, 5 days. But since we had 6 people on the team, we were rotating, so it wasn't quite as much bridge as it could have been.
Was there one hand that you wish you had played differently, that you felt like you would have won had you played it differently?
Well, we lost by 50, so no. There were probably about 5 or 6 hands I wish I had played differently that probably would have adjusted the outcome. So, yeah, the last team we played was really good. So they certainly deserved to win, but we could have, if things had gone differently, we could have won. The most interesting match, though, and the one I promised Rick I'd say a few words about, was against the 4 seed. We actually tied after 56 hands of bridge, which is really hard to do.
Wow.
And we originally thought we had lost by 1. We were going through the scores, and it looked like 113 for them, 112 for us. And that's crushing to lose by 1 in bridge. Well, in anything really. But then my teammates were asking me, "How did you not get the 6 diamonds on this hand? It's such an easy 6." And I was thinking to myself, there is no 6. You can only make 11 tricks because this guy on my right has 4 diamonds behind me, king and jack, and there's nothing I can do about it. I said, no, he only has 3 diamonds, not 4. Turns out I was so excited when I was playing the hand to think that we hadn't missed a slam that I actually thought I was losing 2 diamonds when there was literally no way for me to lose 2 diamonds. Which means that I had scored it as 400 when it should have been 420. And adjusting the score turned a 1 imp loss into a tie. There was a little bit of drama getting the team to accept that I had actually cashed the high diamond before making my erroneous claim. They got it on videotape, though, so I was exonerated. And we ended up going to an 8-board playoff that we won, even though that had some really exciting hands. So, yeah, second time in my life I've won a tiebreaker after thinking that I had lost a match by 1 imp, only to find that imp under a sofa cushion somehow. So,
that is crazy.
Yeah. That was
for the knockouts, what was the schedule? What time did you start playing in the morning and what time did you finish?
9:30 was the first session and the 3:30 was the second. So for that one, the tiebreaker round, I didn't get home until 11 p.m. because
that's a lot of bridge.
Our opponents were so slow, which didn't help matters. But we were playing 28 each session. So 56 hands for our whole team, plus 8 for the playoff. That is a lot of bridge. Most days we would be done by about 7:30 or 8.
Even still, 5 days of that. I can't do 2 days in a row like that hardly anymore. I know that's one of the things they talk about. To win these national titles and whatnot, you need to have a great level of endurance for bridge.
Yeah,
and
you do.
They talk about having decent physical fitness and stuff like that too, just to make it so that you can.
Mm-hmm.
be that intent in what you're doing and for that many hours for that many days. So that's something that you don't see just playing at the club or playing at a tournament for the weekend.
Well, we definitely tailed off toward the end. The last 14 boards I played, I was basically dead. Part of that was that we were down by 60 going into that set, so I really didn't have much hope. But it was, yeah, definitely going to have to sleep a lot these next couple of days to recover.
I was going to mention too, you said the team that represented District 21 we had played against at the Firecracker, or at least they had been in our event.
They were in the event, yeah.
And I saw that they were also in the same event, I think 3 years ago.
Yeah.
District 21 then too.
I don't remember if you can actually find all these results on Wikipedia. So I'm actually on Wikipedia now. If you Google Grand National Team.
All right.
I'm also there for North American pairs, which is what I won in March. But yes, I believe that same District 21 team did pretty well a few years ago.
Yeah.
But they lost to the team that beat us in the final. So that team, even though they were only seeded 15th out of 16, they actually only qualified for this 16-team knockout by 0.15 VPs. So basically, if they had, and it was a continuous VP scale too, so if they had scored 1 or 2 fewer imps in the qualifier, they wouldn't have even made the tournament.
Right.
And they ended up beating everybody by ridiculous margins. Basically.
Yeah, I saw one team forfeited after three matches.
Yeah. Because they were just down by almost 100, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That was crazy. It was a lot of fun. Disappointing to lose, of course, but we had a good run.
Yeah. So what? I know you got like a partial for the award. How many master points did you get for that though?
Worth 52.5 gold points in the end, which is the most I've ever won in a single event.
Yep, I'll bet.
Yeah, the winning NAP Flight C in March was worth 40. So, yeah, almost close to 100 points just in 2 events is not too shabby, but it's
Yep.
not all about the master
Second
points.
place in the GNT is huge. So I mean, even that is even though you didn't come in first, coming in second is quite an accomplishment.
Yeah, I think over time I'll be more accepting of how everything played out. Always tough in the day or so afterwards. Anyway, lots of fun. Definitely encourage all of you to get out to NABCs when you get the chance. I know Tony played in San Francisco. Rick did, of course, too. But James and Kenton, hopefully you get the chance at some point when you're bridge playing live.
Early in my days at LLNL, I had a trip to Washington, D.C., and they had the NABC running there at the time. So I went out and played one event went to the partnership desk and just found a partner, and we wound up winning our event there. But my partner was George Washington, so I thought,
Oh,
how could that be any better?
Wow. Yeah, he has to win in DC, doesn't he?
That's right. So, all right. So I sent out the link again for Sharkbridge. You can click on that. I have some funny hands here. I've been pulling my hair out the last month trying to figure out why I could not import my Stone Ridge Creek files that I'm teaching with there and the Sharkbridge to use here. Because the dealing machine likes them fine, but Sharkbridge is really super sensitive about loading files. And I finally today figured out what the problem was. Every time I'd load the file, it would just come in garbage. It would be like just random characters, not hands and stuff like that. But it turns out that it'll only read it in correctly if it's from a mapped network drive path. If it's just a
What?
regular network path with like a / at the front kind of thing, it doesn't give you an error, it just gives you garbage. I kept trying to change the input file and edit it with this, take it with this, copy a good one in, but it just happened to be, it has to have a network drive at the top. So now that I've discovered that, I'm much happier about this. So anyhow, let's do this. These are some funky kind of hands here. I've got you as north and south at the 2 tables here.
That's a strong 2 club by Robot.
Oh, hang on. Oh, did I mess this up? Hold on.
If I don't even have a hand,
Oh, that's what it is. Let me load these. How about that?
Hmm.
This looks better.
hmm,
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been in this situation before. I'm trying to.
Okay. So
Yeah.
just gotta make sure I can count correctly. I think the last time this bid came up, I miscounted
it's easy to do.
and got a level too high.
So Ken, do you think you belong in Slam here?
Absolutely.
Okay. And do you think you belong in a 6 or a 7 level contract?
I always want more information, but I'm leaning more towards 7. Let's just
So
do
what's
that.
the
Huh?
what's the most points your partner can have?
17.
And so for 7 with the balanced hand, you usually want about 37 points combined.
Hmm. Okay. So how about that?
I forgot I
Let's
got to
switch
play
away.
that. Hang on. I thought I was a dummy for a moment.
Yeah. I guess you were the dummy for a moment.
I know.
Well, good luck, partner.
Thank you. Yeah, I think 6 is 7 would be a bit of a stretch.
What was that range for 7? About 36 plus? combined?
36 or even 37. You'd like to be off just a king at the most.
Okay.
More often, you'll get to a 7 no trump contract where you have a big running suit, like a 7-card suit on the side.
Yeah, something long. Okay.
Yeah, so you have a bunch of the aces and aces, so you don't lose anything right off the bat, and you have a source of tricks by having some long suit. So where you have a balanced hand like this, it's really hard to make 7.
Gotcha.
I feel like I played this exact hand basically on Friday in GNTs and misplayed it, but I still made because West was fantasy pitched a card that he didn't. This time I'll do it correct. This time I will do it correctly though.
All right, I'll see here. I think you did.
I learned my lesson. Yeah, it was exactly the same. I had the ace of hearts opposite queen of hearts, and then I had I had the ace of clubs opposite the queen of clubs, and I had a jack of hearts, like ace, king, jack of hearts, where I could have finessed that suit.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I picked the wrong order, but still got bailed out.
I think you're out of luck here, Tony.
Yeah. I think had I played my sequence correctly, I would have gotten it. And that was only hearts in 2 of my hands. Even if I lose the club finesse, they can't return it without giving me a free trick. Something like that. That's what I was hoping, but I think I played my sequence wrong.
Yeah, 75% slam.
Yes.
But only if you play it in the right order.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Think about it.
So Andrew, what was your thinking here?
You have 2 finesses, right? You have to, there are 2 options to get an extra trick. Well, I guess first of all, count tricks. You have 4 spades, 4 diamonds, 2 clubs, and the ace of hearts. That's 11, so you need 1 more. Your 2 chances are with the queen of hearts. If East has the king of hearts, you can get a 12th trick that way. Also, if East has the queen of clubs, you can finesse him in clubs to get the 12th trick that way. So 2 chances to get an extra trick on a finesse. That's why it's 75%. But you have to do the finesses in the right order. If, for example, you take the club finesse and it loses, if you try to take the heart finesse, East will just take his king, as he can, and you'll be down 1. So you can't do it in that order. On the other hand, if you play the hearts and West has the king of hearts, which means the heart finesse loses, you can cash all your tricks and still take the club finesse. And if it wins, you still get 12 tricks. Essentially, the cash, I guess the difference is with the finesse and hearts, you could lose that trick as soon as you play a low heart, whether East has the king or whether West has the king. But in the club finesse, if East has the queen, he cannot win the trick and cash something else. There's a little bit of a convoluted way of saying it, but that's the
So
the law.
another way of thinking about it is that in the heart finesse, whether it works or doesn't work, you have to give up the lead.
Yes.
But with the club finesse, if it works, you don't have to give up the lead. And so you can't afford the lose the queen of clubs and then try the heart finesse, because if they give up the lead, they'll get their king of hearts. whether the finesse works or not. And so you have to do the one that gives up a trick first. It's a little bit of a brain teaser, I know. So the thing I didn't know, but at least the guide I had said what this is what is the names of those two finesses that distinguishes those type.
I didn't know they had names.
Like the forward and the reverse, something like that.
So direct and an indirect.
Sure. Yeah. So,
The heart finesse is an indirect finesse, and the club finesse is a direct finesse. Indirect finesse, you have to, you can't control the lead, basically. And so they say if you have a choice of a direct finesse and an indirect finesse, you want to take the indirect one first.
You want to take the indirect one first.
The heart one is the indirect here. So you want to do the indirect finesse first.
Was the bidding sequence correct on mine?
So the recommended bidding sequence on this, both of you went to Gerber here, but you can do the just the for no Trump invite. So you've got what 17 points. So if partner has 17, then you're not off 2 aces. Even if partner has 16, you're not off 2 aces. So you can just do a straight invite, and that'll put you in slam with 33 or 34 combined high card points. Asking for aces, you could find that partner does have the 2 missing aces or 1 missing ace, but not enough high card strength to make your slam even with that if it's a 15-point hand.
So the best is 1 no trump, 4 no trump, 6 no trump.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you know you don't have 7 because the most you could have is 34.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Mm-hmm. Oh, hang on a second. Okay. There we go.
whoops. Whoops.
Yeah. You there, Andrew?
So Tony, this is you're asking.
Personally, I play as pick a slam, bid your 4-card suit the lowest possible way.
Oh,
But you know, the book might have been this is a 7 no Trump invite, which isn't wrong.
That's what the book says here.
Right, which isn't wrong.
so
That's
just
what you're saying. Five no is a 7 no invite.
Yes.
That's the book. That's the book bid.
Okay, well, who am I to argue with the book?
so wait. So I bid my 4-card suit, or
No. If you have 21, bid 7. Otherwise, bid 6.
Oh.
Yeah, you said that you're 20 to 21, and so this is an invite to 7. The only thing that you could have that's needed is the 21.
Okay.
All right, Kenton. Very good.
And I'm talking on mute again. Great. What else would you bid besides 6 for 7 no trump after the 5 no trump?
No, those are the only two choices.
Okay. Gotcha.
Well, I don't see why you couldn't bid
You could bid 6 of a minor if you want.
a 5-card suit if you have one,
Yeah.
or depending on agreement, a 4-card suit, find a 4/4 fit potentially.
I would, yeah. You'd have to be pretty good on your agreements there.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, I didn't see how that happened. So James, I think you can claim here,
Yeah, for sure.
but I don't like your line.
Oh, really?
Could have wound up crashing off the trail there.
You mean I didn't have to take the club finesse?
Well, I would not normally expect to have to take it because with 8 clubs, you can just cash the ace, king, queen,
Oh, right.
right? Because
So that's a better, assuming you get a 3-2 split.
right, but you don't have to assume that, but you don't have to risk the finesse.
Yeah, you pull to see the distribution, and then your finesse is straightforward.
Yeah. So what order did you play your clubs, Kenton?
I did the queen of clubs, and then the ace of clubs, and then saw that it was a 1, right?
South had a
had
singleton.
Singleton, yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Then it's a marked finesse.
Right.
But you don't have to risk that because you'd hate to have them be 3-2 with Jack in the South, and you do a finesse right off the bat, and you go down where if you just take the ace and the queen
Right.
and the king that they drop. But the trap to avoid here is don't start with the ace king of clubs. Because if you do find they're 4-1 against you, the only way you can successfully finesse the jack is if it's in the north, and so you have to keep the ace or the king in the east for that finesse to set up.
Yeah, if South has 4 to the jack, you're toast. Nothing you
Right.
can do.
Mm-hmm.
The good old classic bridge master situation.
Yeah.
So good job, Kevin.
Luckily, I had my family bridge night yesterday, so I get a little warm up for this bridge shark
Good.
session.
You go over safety plays last night?
No, we did a tricky transportation hand. Yes, but after that, it just gets you thinking more about how your 2 hands play together.
Mhm. Well, in a hand like that too, the 7 no trump, there's only one thing that can possibly go wrong. So it's a little easier to plan it out.
To focus on that one suit and that one problem.
But as you get to different contracts, particularly I'd say at lower levels, then you have to start planning for contingencies in multiple suits potentially. That's where it gets really tricky.
So Kenton, here you just want a bit of heart.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was opening again. Yes, I want to. Yes. Sorry. Yes, of course.
Now, by the way, that 4 club can be ambiguous.
Listen, I was wondering if that's not necessarily Gerber.
It's pretty likely Gerber.
It's likely Gerber, but just, it's kind of ambiguous when I open the club. But I would take it like 90% of chance that's a Gerber as well.
And
I'm
so,
saying
are we
it could be
doing,
ambiguous.
is there a better way for me to do it?
I'm not sure. I'm just saying.
Yes.
I'm just saying, like, Gerber is almost never the correct bid. The way to put it.
Andrew, you like
What's the better?
XYZ there?
I don't know. Depending on what you have.
I'm happy with XYZ.
Okay.
Rick would not be, but I'm
No.
happy with it.
Okay.
That's fine XYZ.
But you don't like it when opener starts with the club, though.
Not
Right.
if they rebid a spade. Or if our heart. But when they rebid a no trump, it's always on.
Okay, I thought we had discussed that if X is a club, you want to be able to bid 2 clubs to play.
Only if they've shown an unbalanced hand.
Okay.
Interesting.
So Z has to be not a no trump.
A
So
spade
had
or
it
a
been an
heart.
XYZ sequence, it would be 2 diamond by North, 2 heart by South, then some combination of no trumps going forward.
Well,
Well, that's for Kenton to decide right now.
yeah, here we go.
You're playing it right, Tony.
Yeah, I know. I'm counting.
I know you're. I'm going to be impressed if you get this.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. I meant that. There we go.
I was wondering. Now I'm wondering again. Yeah, if we keep running the robots out of pass cards, eventually they'll have no choice but to double.
Yep.
I think that's how it works.
All these slam bids are throwing me in a loop.
Oh, interesting.
Mm.
Oh, darn it.
Yeah, they've gotten a little too excited on this one.
It may wind up, let's see. I think that Tony's gonna beat you in this one.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. Let's play it quickly then.
I think you want to do the spades first.
You think so?
Well,
Yeah.
if spades splits 3-3, it's an easy make. As long as you duck the
Ah.
first round of spades. But that's not the case. So then I was kind of lost at that point how to try to squeeze it out.
Easy make unless you're in 7.
Well, if spades, you duck the first round of spades. If the spades was
Yeah.
3-3, you get 12.
Yeah.
But that's not the case. So I'm trying to figure out how at that point, how can I adjust my line to?
No, even if they're 3-3, you don't have 12 necessarily.
Yeah. You're always losing 2 tricks.
You got a spade to lose and a club to
3,
lose.
3. Oh yeah, you're right.
So how many points does North-South have combined here?
31.
Which is not really enough for 6-0 trump.
Not with 2 balanced hands.
32, I think.
Yeah, you're right. 32.
But 32 is not enough for 6-0 trump, especially again with flat hands like these. And so the 1-0 trump rebid by South limits South to 13 or 14, 12 to 14 is what we say for that. So if he's got 14, that's probably enough. But 12 or 13 is not. So the recommended bid by North after the 1-0 trump response by South is 4-0 trump.
Mhm.
That's just the invite to 6.
Oh, okay.
And with only 13 points, South should pass that. And it's kind of not a great 13, even with the 4-3-3-3 and a couple queens and a jack. It's kind of a crummy 13. In 4-0 trump, both of you would have made the contract here for the way that you play. You can potentially get an over trick, excuse me, if you guess clubs right. So when you try the club finesse, you're better off leading to the 9 and hoping the 10 is in the east. And if it is, then like it is now, you lose the queen.
Yes.
And finesse again, and you just lose 1 club trick. You lose one
Wait,
spade.
so playing to the 9, the percentage is East have the 10, whereas if you so that's a 50-50.
Right.
If you play anything other than the 9, it's
If you play the jack, it's like it is like this. If it's split honors,
right.
you lose to the queen, but now then your
You
now
can
the
lose
10
another
and the
one.
king is going to give them another trick.
Right.
Where you just have ace jack and nothing supporting that, you can't finesse to the jack because there's nothing to set up. But playing to the 9, if the 10's on side, it becomes like a second honors in your sequence of ace jack.
Mm.
It's almost the same as having ace jack 10 at that point. So 2
The only
finesses.
the only time that loses is if East has king, queen, and not the 10, in which case there's a good chance he'd cover with one of the king or the queen anyway.
Yeah.
But if West had king, queen, then there's nothing you can do anyway. So you have to hope for split honors to begin.
But if we're doing XYZ sequence after the 1-0 trump will be 2 diamond, 2 hard, then what? 2-0 trump, 3-0 trump?
4-0 trump.
4? Okay.
Yeah, XYZ doesn't really help you here.
Right.
It kind of confuses it. Yeah.
I don't
So
think it
is it-
necessarily confuses this. It just
Is
I
it
don't think
safe?
there's
Sorry, is it safe to read South's 1-0 trump as denying any 4-card major?
Right. So that's the
Okay.
question. Some people will like, I'll skip the 4 showing 4 spades there. So if you're playing that way, you can use XYZ to look for a spade fit. And that's okay.
Okay.
But and if you play that the first obligation of partner is to show the other 4-card major, then when they support hearts, that denies 4 spades.
Or even bids, 1-0 trump. Okay.
Or even the sequence that you did there is okay, but then And I think that's right. I think you eventually bid for no Trump. But then it
It's
was
down
an
there.
ambiguous kind of situation.
Mhm.
Yeah.
At that point, I assumed we had agreed hearts. But I guess if you're doing it to look for a 4-4 spade fit, you can only agree hearts if you raise hearts to 3. Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's right.
Anything else?
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay.
So let me see how to do this now.
Wait, what's this?
I'm going to move you guys around a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, we should be good here.
Hey, James.
Hey,
Okay, so West is the dealer here.
What the hell?
This is more Gerber than I've ever played in all my years combined.
I was trying to think when the last time was that I actually did Gerber.
I know, we were talking about that as a thing. So Kenton, are you able to?
so are you guys saying this time I'm supposed to do Gerber instead of 4 now?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That is correct, because 4-no Trump is the quantitative invite. That's the invite to 6-no Trump.
Right. Why wouldn't I do that?
Because you'd like to find out if you're off a couple aces.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna improvise on the spot.
And in Gerber, diamonds is 1 or 4, right?
0 or 4.
0 or 4, I mean, right? I meant, that's what I meant. So that's 2. So
What the heck?
Good old robot.
Right
It's-
how many times have I said that while playing bridge?
So the 4-no Trump is, what did we say? It was a qualitative at this point?
If it had been 1-no Trump, 4-no Trump, it would have been the quantitative that's saying it's the invite based on how many points you are in your 1-no
Hmm.
Trump.
Oh, I can see why he's doubling.
Yeah, but here, where your partner's asked you how many aces you have, and then it stopped at 4-no Trump, that's not an invite.
Okay.
That's saying you don't have enough aces.
Right.
It
That's
kind of
right,
sounds like a
one.
sign off.
Yeah, exactly.
And I can claim the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the hardest double ever, that's for sure.
Nope.
You say that, but there was like at the last week at Stone Ridge Creek, there was a case like this where the people bid to 6, missing 2 aces, and that hand that had 2 aces on opening lead did not double.
That was a misclick. Yeah.
But if that
They
is
were
6-no
afraid of-
Trump though, if it's Trump's contract, you never know.
You never know, but in 6-no Trump where you're on lead, it's a pretty Good bet.
I remember Corin and I played a 7
Right.
heart.
So
missing
hang on a
the ace
second.
of
I was gonna say,
hearts.
Kenton, you should be thinking about setting up your diamonds here.
Yeah, I misclicked the club.
But
Oh.
even still, you could just click a diamond back here because you don't want to.
Oh,
Keep-
okay. Well, let's do that then.
So you want to overtake that one?
Oh, so I don't burn my transport.
Mm-hmm.
Burn your bridges, as it were.
It'll work out okay here.
Yeah, luckily.
Okay, and you can claim the rest here.
Yeah, I believe that's it.
And I think, how did that work? You did um, yeah, you're okay there. What you would kind of like to do is keep a spade there and start on diamonds right away. Because if you knock out their ace of diamonds and they do not cash their ace of spades, you don't have to lose it because you can take 5 diamonds and 5 clubs and a couple hearts.
That's true.
For
Yeah.
12 tricks. So if you sneak right in, and North has to be thinking on this, okay, I've got 2 aces and they were trying for slam, but they stopped because of not enough aces. So partner probably doesn't have any high card points, which they don't. So that the only hope for North-South is to take their 2 aces and go home. So, and if they don't, they can go to sleep with the ace of spades. All right.
That would have been nice.
That is it for this. I've got more hands in this set that we could look at next time, but I am not here next week.
Me neither.
Okay, we'll probably just do something on BBO then. We'll make that clear in the email.
Andrew, Kenton, what's your plan for this Thursday?
I've got to run back to Storms Creek, so I'll see you guys.
Good luck.
All
All right,
take it
see you,
easy.
Rick. Thank you. Thanks for all that.
We can do Thursday in person on site, I assume, if that works for you guys.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I'm available.
Okay.
All right.
Kenton, are you free tomorrow to play at Jackie's?
I am not. I'm
Okay.
not tomorrow. She wants to do Friday. I'm game on Friday, but not tomorrow. Sorry, guys.
Okay. Yeah, she mentioned that generally Wednesdays work a little bit better for some of the external people. Knowing that Friday
Okay.
we're supposed to do, I'll mention that if we end up having.
I mean, this Wednesday's it's my wife's last week of summer, so we're going out to lunch. But other Wednesdays will work too. So it's just a one-off week.
Yeah, most
Gotcha.
Wednesday works for me as well. Just tomorrow I got to go to Berkeley.
Yeah. Okay, that's good to know then. We'll see what happens, but in any case, I will see you guys on Thursday.
All right.
Awesome.
Sounds
See you
good.
then.
Later.
Thanks,
Take it
guys.
easy. Bye.
Bye.